Afternoon, everyone. Hoping you're well. Good to see so many people that are familiar and a few new faces in here as well. My name's Keith from Your Success, and I help people and organisations reach their full potential through coaching, training, and motivational mapping. And more recently, I've had the opportunity to work more closely with your personal training, introducing businesses and organisations to all the wonderful things that we do in terms of education, recruitment, and even the full package of recruiting, training, and bringing in the most exceptional personal trainers. But today, as I said, we're going to be going through building a sales process. This isn't to say that you haven't got one and it's not successful, but it's looking at what you do and what you can add to it. I've been very fortunate. I've been working in the industry now for nearly 25 to 30 years, and the stuff that we're going to go through today is stuff that I've learned, implemented, worked with different organisations, so the things we go through have changed so much over the years. And one of the things we're also going to look at today in terms of building your process is also how you feel about delivering it, how you feel about what you offer, how you believe in it, because all those bits and pieces make up to being able to deliver a very insightful and impactful presentation to people. We're not talking like Dragon's Den presentations here, but actually getting to really understand what it is your customers want. So you're not selling anymore, you're encouraging them to buy. And as I have to allude to sometimes, my wife, I've been married 26 years now. My wife hates being sold to, but she loves to buy. So I've learned a heck of a lot over the last 26 years of marriage, which I'm going to try and share with you today. But that's what we're going to go through today. It's about building a sales process, but it's encouraging people to buy from you. So over the next 40 minutes, the things we're going to look at and get you involved in is, first of all, I'm going to ask you to think about and write down what you love about what you do. Really important when it comes to talking about yourself and how you work with potential customers. We're then going to spend a little bit of time talking about who are you and what do you do. Being able to sum up who you are, what you do, so people get it, buy into it, and want to find out more about you. We're then going to talk about your sales process, some of the steps involved. We're going to talk about a few different ideas and mindsets just to make sure you're in the right frame to be able to deliver the very best of yourself confidently. We're going to talk about open and closed questions and how that builds into your process, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a taster session, whatever area it is, how you can use that effectively to allow you to do the next thing, which is to listen. And not just listen to reply, but listen to understand and really be able to help people. And one of the big things you'll find as we're going through this process is you will find that people are telling you all the reasons that they need to work with you. And you're just matching those bits up, and we'll talk about that as we get there. We'll then talk about different ways of inviting people to start, and as I've had a few people talk about today, being ready to learn what works well, what you could improve on. Because all those areas, if you continue to develop, you continue to be successful, and that's what we're going to look at today, okay? So that's what we're going to cover in the next 40 minutes. As James said, you've got workbooks, but one of the things you will find with this session, I will encourage you, and I will be doing things, so I'm asking you to get involved, to write things down, to share information. So if you're not using the digital stuff, have a notepad out, because I'm going to encourage you to do a few exercises with me today, okay? So, most important question I'm going to ask you, we've talked about this, but the most important question I want to ask you is, what would you like to get from the next 40 minutes and why? Please don't write down with what you want to get for the next 40 minutes, which is finishing 20. That's not what we're talking about here. But what I'd love you to think about is what you want to get to for the next 40 minutes. But also why, and there's a reason for that. One of the things that's always really important is if you've got an idea of where you're heading and what you want, you're more likely to get it. And if you can give yourself a reason why you want to get it, you're more likely to implement it and do something with it. And as James said before he left, one of the most important things is anything you learn today from myself and the other speakers you've seen in different sessions, please make sure that you implement it and commit to it, because it will make a difference, I promise you. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Please have a think about what you'd like to get from the next 40 minutes and why. And be prepared, because I'm going to come around, I'm going to ask a few people what you've noted down, okay? So I'm going to give you 60 seconds, and I'll see what you got. Thank you. And I'll be honest, no row is safe. There's nowhere you're sitting where I won't come over to you, okay? So be ready. Okay, right. Let's have a little bit of a wander here. Right. Is there anybody that's made a note of what they'd like to get from this next 40 minutes and why? Has anybody made a note? I'm going to come and choose if that's okay. Yeah, is that okay? What's your name, sir? Sorry?
I'm Rich.
Rich, thanks so much. Rich, what you got?
Generally just to listen and
Yeah.
Use guys on the floor and yourself. Tried and tested.
Fantastic.
Easy one.
Does that fix in with your why? And you're going to use it as well? Fair plus. Love it. There we go. Very clear. Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rich. Anybody? No. Good chat. Thank you very much. Anybody else notice something down there? If you, yeah, go for it. Thank you very much. What's your name, sorry?
Matthew.
Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
The process that drives an emotionally driven goal from someone who's in need.
Ah, yeah. Brilliant. Love the idea of that. So here's the thing. Why do you want that? How's that going to help you?
It probably improves your value proposition if the objectives are quite emotionally attached.
Yeah. The interesting thing we'll come to is when you are asking people what they're interested in, why they want to achieve a particular goal and so on and so forth, there's always going to be a moment where there's not just I want to lose weight, but there'll be a why to it. I've got a holiday coming up, but why is that important? Is there a special event? It does drive an emotional feeling, so thank you very much for that. Cool. We'll take one other one if that's okay. Anybody else got what they'd like to get for the next 40 minutes? Yeah, just at the back there. Thank you. What's your name, sorry?
So Sam.
Sam, yeah, sorry, Sam, go for it.
How to sell the client on a dream.
Oh, right, okay. So we're looking future here, and am I going to achieve these goals?
Getting them really to buy in that consultation.
Yeah. Yeah, the bit you're going to get from that is definitely about the questions we ask and how we listen and get the feedback, because that's the bit that drives it. And where Rich said we want to make some money, absolutely. But one of the things I've found over my years and opportunities and experience is that very often people think about the money first, and that drives a bit of a barrier in front of working with the client to understand how you can get them to buy. So great point. Well, we're going to cover that. So some great things we're going to get from it. And one of the things I'm going to ask you is a really important question. What if? What if you knew you wouldn't fail? Or you couldn't fail? What would you try? What would you do? The reason I ask that is because it's kind of like an invitation to kind of do things, try stuff out, learn. And the bit that's always very interesting to me, and you may have come across this before, is 80% of our success comes from what we think up here, our beliefs. 20% of our success is going to be the actions that we take appropriately. And one of the things that happens is if that 80% is a little bit blocked, there's a fear or an uncertainty, you don't deliver the best of yourself, so people tend to pick up on it. You don't drive yourself as well as you could. So I want to spend a little bit of time, just 30 seconds or so, looking at that, and I'll explain to this for you. Because I want you to ask yourself something. What is it you love about what you do? But more importantly, that goes with it, what are your clients getting from you currently? What are your potential clients getting from working with you? And what I'd like you to do, if it's okay, is if there's somebody next to you, or somebody you'd like to work for 60 seconds, please write down for me, and for you more than anything else, what it is your clients get from working with you, the benefits they receive, all that wonderful stuff. 60 seconds, write down what it is they get from working with you. What are the benefits they receive? Okay, 60 seconds, see what you got. Work with a partner, work on your own, I don't mind, but just get some conversation going. Good answer, by the way. Good answer, by the way. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Right, I was going to bring it in. I'm guessing because it's a little bit quiet, we've probably got some ideas and some feedback to share, if that's okay. So what I'm going to do, just at the back here, what did you get down that you offer? What do your clients get working with you, or potential clients? What do they get from working with you and having your time?
So the main one was support for me. So not just being there as like a trainer, but like a therapist in a way. So like that moral support, being like, oh, I've had a rubbish day at work, or this, or they could be going through a divorce. So I like to offer them a little bit more of a shoulder to lean on.
So there's a little bit of a space there for them, so you're providing, yeah, so there's a bit of honesty, a bit of somewhere where they can have a bit of a safe space. Okay, great, really good thing, thank you very much. Anybody else get some stuff down that their clients get from working with them? What do you get, Andy? What do you get, mate?
I had,
Big list.
a positive physical, mental and emotional experience in a fun way with a person in class as a friend.
Yeah, love it, absolutely, really good. Anything else? Yeah, I'd love to hear it, Heather, go for it. Massive. Yeah, this is the whole thing. There's so many things we do, you know, whether you put down about achieving a goal, self-esteem, safe space, and so on, it makes a heck of a difference. And one of the things I'd like you to do, if you've got that list in front of you, have a look at it. And what I'd encourage you to do is look at it, but see how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel excited? Does it make you feel proud? Does it make you feel happy? And the reason I'm asking you to do that is because if you are delivering these wonderful things, it's life-changing. This is not just getting somebody ready for a holiday or a honeymoon. It's a lifestyle. It's absolutely incredible. And a lot of the things that we offer in terms of support and results probably wouldn't get on their own. We make a heck of a lot of difference to people's lives. It's life-changing what we do. And if you can take that on board and you can feel it and really understand it, I promise you, when you get to talk about who you are, what you do, and you're going through prices and so on and so forth, that confidence, that belief about what people are going to get with working with you will come through. And it becomes infectious. So when you're talking about getting people to buy in, this is something we can do. This is something they're not going to get by themselves. So be proud of what you do, but let it come through when you talk to people, okay? So we'll continue in that case. Very quickly, you can see there's a lot of exercises in this here. One of the things I think it's always really important to do is be able to kind of explain who you are and what you do. So if you were given just a brief moment to tell somebody what you do, the differences you make, could you do it? So I want you to find the person next to you and just in 30 seconds, speak to them, sum up who you are and what you do, just tell them a little bit about yourself in your personal training world, okay? And if you've done it with one person, see if you can do it with someone else, so we're getting a turn each. So basically 30 seconds each, who you are and what you do, give it a go, and we'll come back and I'll explain what we're doing. Is that okay, yeah? So find somebody, get you going there. Good. There you go. Gents, I'm going to come to you in a second, but that'll be all right, yeah? Magic, thanks very much. What's your name, sorry? Billy and Jack. Billy and Jack, thanks very much, cheers. Okay. Right, let's bring it back in. Thank you very much. Sorry if I'm stopping you. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much for getting involved in this. Right, it's going to come to a couple of individuals and see what we've got. We're going to do a follow-on to this as well. We're going to just be speaking to Billy and Jack. Is that right? Yep, thanks ever so much. Gents, how did you get on? How did Jack get on?
Well, so for me, I'm a gym owner, and I just basically put people in a better position to help people. So Billy, I'm quite fortunate, works for the gym I own, and he does my job way far better than I do.
Love the sound of it. Thank you very much. It's a good thing. But the thing is, very often, we don't always express ourselves in a way that's clear to people who we are, what we do, and why maybe they should have a further conversation with you. And what I've just asked you to do, and you may have come across this before, is something called an elevator pitch. You may have come across this. The idea behind it, if you go back many, many, many years, if there was people in business who wanted to capture a moment with somebody important, they couldn't get a meeting, they couldn't get a phone call, but they just managed to grab them in perhaps a lift, 20, 30 seconds to create a reason to introduce themselves, but also have a follow-up conversation and create something of interest. That is called an elevator pitch. And very often when you are talking to a client or you're doing something in passing, that is an opportunity for them to become aware of who you are and what you do. And it's broken into 4 sections here. Who you are, name of your company if you have one, what you do and the benefits that you offer, and it ends with why the customer should work with you, take action, or create a next appointment or conversation, or do kind of like a taster session or something. I kind of do mine at the beginning of this session with a point missing, but I always say my name's Keith from Your Success. I help people and organisations reach their full potential. The fourth bit for me will depend on the audience or the people that I'm working with. So yesterday I was working with organisations and it was about customer service and mindset and upselling and so on. So I asked the question, how do you deliver great customer service? But you know what happens? They all engage in conversation. Well, we do this, we do that, we do this. I was like, oh, but it gives me an opportunity to talk to them, understand them. And then when they told me everything about how they deliver customer service, I go, have you ever thought about this? They go, ooh. Next appointment, conversation, booking, something comes from it every single time. Those 4 bits, who you are, your company and who you represent, what you do, but the question allows them to take another step with you, create an action, an appointment, a meeting, something. Allows you to find out a bit more about them and what they do. So what I'd like you to do while we're here, I'm going to give you, if I may, 2 minutes as the starting point. It's a little bit more work you might want to put into it. But what I'd like you to think about is take what you've just done in that 30-second test, look at these 4 points, and see if you can create an elevator pitch for yourself. Who you are, company, what you do, and why someone should take action with you. Could be an open question, but I just want you to think about that. For 2 minutes, write something down. We'll see a few of those of what you've got, and then we'll start working on it. You can take it away, build it, and improve it over time. So if I can give you that 2 minutes, crack on now. I'll keep a time on it, and I'll see you in 2 minutes, see what you got. Thank you. Got some ideas on that one?
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. No worries at all. Thanks for that earlier, gents. Much appreciated. Cheers, Tom. So who you are, company, what you do, and a lovely question for them to engage in conversation with you. Now.
Again, I know they all fit into different areas, but we have a specialist as well.
Struggling with the 4th one.
Okay. So,
Shit salesman. At the moment now, I'm turning people away to have more time for myself because I've got basically a freelance teacher that pays me to train in my gym. So that anyone I don't want, because you can gauge them at the door, right?
Yeah.
And I can't fit in terms of when they've got space. I'm turning away to him, but the more clients he's got, the more he pays me. So I'm in a bit of a weird predicament of when they come in, they want the boss, right?
Yeah.
And I can gauge them when I'm talking to them if I can fit in and I want them. So I'm kind of like, I don't sell, I don't advertise. But it's quite a niche position to be in, right? Do you know what I mean? So, well, it's a good position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, with the 4th one, I'd kind of go, what you're currently working towards, and they'll give you all sorts of kind of feedback in terms of, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh, have you thought about it? It's just, that's the question.
What I found is a lot of people come into the gym and they think they want this goal, want that goal, want this goal.
Yeah.
And they actually don't. They actually don't. What I found, I've done it for 5.5 years now in my gym, and they want that appointment. Otherwise, they want that appointment with me. Otherwise, they won't come.
Yeah.
So they're paying me membership, and then they're paying me PT prices 2-3 times a week, and I'm happy days. As long as I leave them smiling, we'll both fucking have that, and they'll come again.
Well, you have to, and I think the thing is, you get to develop that goal because very often people start with the surface and then you build it.
I'll build
That's
that,
it.
that micro and macro goal with them
Yeah.
on their own. I'll say, look, what do you want from this next 3-4 months?
Yeah.
They go, I trust you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm in a weird predicament.
Yeah. I'll pick that up with you afterwards as well, after the session if you've got time. Yeah? Cool, no worries. Guys, thank you very much. So, with 4 points we're looking for here. State who you are, state your company is, creatively tell what you do, your benefits you offer, and get them to engage you to the next call to action, a question you're going to ask them. So, just want to ask, was there anybody that got an opportunity to write down their 4 points? Just give us a quick show of hands if you've got your 4 points down. Please don't be scared. We're going to pick on you anyway. Brilliant. I'll come back to you again. Thanks, man. What did you get? Give me your 4. I'd love to hear this.
My name's Drew, and I work as an instructor for 305 Health Club. I help people of all ages break the odds, change their mindsets, and build confidence by achieving their goals.
Cool.
I believe I would be a major asset in your journey, offering support and guidance.
Ooh, nice one. Nice one, Drew. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for standing up and saying it. Good. Love to hear it, Drew. Good man. Anybody else got one they want to share? Yeah. Go on, Sam. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. And I'll come to you.
Hi, my name is Sam from Sam and Personal Training. I help people improve their strength, athleticism, mobility and appearance while teaching them to develop the mindset systems which will allow them to start loving exercise again. If you have stopped enjoying your workouts or never learned to start, then you need to get on a call with me as soon as
Very nice. Thank you very much, Sam. Good job. Good one, good one, good one. Very good. Some really good things in here. And the interesting thing is a lot of people, first 3 points are pretty simple. Point 4 can be the one people get a little bit stuck on. Okay. The thing that I would say to you is if you have been working through this, you've got point 4 down in terms of an open question or just any reason for them to engage with you, keep working on it. One of the things that you tend to find is if you can engage them in conversation, how do you achieve that at the moment, for example, or what do you currently do, or what do you enjoy? All of a sudden they'll tell you loads of stuff. You're then able to go, great, have you thought about this? I'd love to introduce you to a taster, but the idea is get them talking. Thank you very much for doing that, but the idea is keep working this through, keep practicing. If you've got time at the end, you want to have a few more questions, please come and see me. I'll be happy to do so. But we're going to continue because we talk about suggested steps of sales process, which we'll look at in just a second. One of the things that very often happens, and might borrow your pen for a second, Andy, if that's all right, mate. You've probably come across this a million times. And one of my first job interviews, I was asked, can you sell me this pen? And all sorts of people come up with all sorts of bits and pieces. You might have seen it on TV, movies, and so on and so forth. And very naturally, many people turn around and say, well, it's a great pen, it's got black ink, it retails at about 50p, or probably lasts for about 2 weeks, and they start talking about the pen. But there's an issue with that. How do I know what kind of pen the person wants? So the relatable bit, the bit that you start to think about is this. If you want to sell this pen, you'd ask the person, what do you use your pens for? What kind of pens do you tend to use? What colours do you like? What do you use it for? How often do you use it? How much money do you normally spend on your pen? The reason you start to get all these questions answered basically is it allows you to be able to match what you've got or what you can provide to their particular needs. A lot of time people think about sales and selling, thanks mate, as something like some kind of Dragon's Den pitch where I want them to give me £50,000 investment. What I want them to do is tell me how I can help. And we're going to come to it in just a second. It comes across as the doctor psychology, understanding somebody's pain or ailment so you can provide a solution, a cure. That's what we'll look at in a second. But what it kind of breaks down to is this. The first bit for me is you've got to know the person's needs. Why or how can you help them? What is it that's missing? What's the solution you can provide? To do that, you need to ask open questions, but really listen to the replies they give you. The idea basically is if you can ask the right questions, which we'll come to in just a moment, the feedback they're going to give you is going to be everything they need to tell themselves why they need to work with you. And this is why we encourage people to buy, because they're going to give themselves all the reasons they should work with you through the questions that you ask. When you get this information, you're then able to take all this wonderful information about all the great stuff that you provide, the benefits you offer, and link them to that individual's needs. Add value in each and every single way. But what it allows you to do is look at a course of action, then agree ways to pay. But the idea is you follow the steps. And very often, I'm not saying it's incorrect, but some people dive straight into prices. We maybe need to understand a bit more about the person. What do they want? What's the value they're looking for? Then that price becomes valuable rather than a cost. And people always tend to take value over cost. We'll talk about that more as we go through. So, you've got a couple of bits and pieces. Now, if you're with your personal trainer, you may come across, we've got these phenomenal things called consultation forms. You may have them in other areas of your business, and different businesses as well. But one of the things that I would suggest, if you've got a consultation form, this is your provision to be able to ask people questions and understand their needs. Why are people with you? What is it they want to achieve? I was talking to Rich a moment ago, he's saying about they have short-term goals. That's great to begin with, and maybe when you're with them, long-term goals. But the idea is, we want to understand who they are and what they want. We'll talk about price presentation in just a second. But you have tools to be able to use. And this is the thing, we miss that link between service and sales. Somebody wants to buy, we want to sell. It needs to, pretty much a done deal, isn't it? But if we miss something, if we don't understand their needs, it doesn't go quite to plan. So you've got to think about service. And there was somebody many years ago, their whole business, they had a sales and service department, and they asked the bosses to change it to service and sale, because how can you make a sale until you provide a service? So that's what we're going to look at as we move forward here, which is about listening, understanding, and getting solutions. This is what's referred to as the doctor psychology. Has anybody come across this phrase before, the doctor psychology? No? So the basic idea is somebody walks in, they have some kind of ailment or pain. Your job is to understand what it is so that you can provide a solution, something that's going to make them feel right, get their health back, feel better, feel confident. So the idea base is if you go in with the mindset of, I want to be able to help this person, I want to understand what they need from me, I can take all the wonderful things I do and match them appropriately to that particular individual. Does that make sense? When you get that into your thinking, every single conversation you have is meaningful and helpful. But for the customer, and this is the bit we miss sometimes, it's not very often people are given the opportunity to talk about themselves. We miss that. So if you can give that connection, show an interest in them, number one, they're going to connect with you. Number two, you're going to build phenomenal rapport. They'll feel comfortable, they'll trust you. And what it means is any information that you share after that is going to feel relevant to them because it's linked to all the things that they're telling you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. We shall continue in that case. So as I said, we need to talk about these bits, asking open questions, listening and matching. But the important bit that comes for me is asking the right questions. You've probably been through this a million times with schools, colleges, and further education as you come out of it. But I'm just going to ask everybody, just as a room here, what's an open question? What is an open question? Go for it. Yeah, love to hear. Go.
It just gives you a bit more insight in their journey and what they're actually looking for instead
Yeah.
of something that's closed to just yes or no answer.
Nicely summed up. Yeah, brilliant. Open questions, we heard there basically, is something that engages a conversation, gets somebody talking, allows them the opportunity to get into conversation and share information with you. And generally speaking, open questions begin with what, why, when, where, how, who. How can I help you? What times a day would you be looking to come? How often would you be looking to exercise or work out? All those bits and pieces, they're starting to build a little bit of a picture and a story, but they're telling you. And the thing that we forget sometimes when we're asking these open questions, when you ask somebody, what would you like to achieve by seeing me? When they're answering that, they're telling you, but who else are they telling? Themselves. So they're telling you, yeah, I need to come at least 3 times a week. I need to achieve this. Here's the time frame I need to achieve it in. So all these things, they're telling you, here's what I need. Great. We can help with that. And very interesting, loads of people, when I was kind of more on the floor every single day, people used to say, wow, you're an incredible salesperson. I wasn't. I was great at listening. I'd ask questions and people would tell me what it was they needed. And I could say, yeah, here's how we can do that for you. And they were like, oh my gosh, sounds great. This is what we're looking at here today. Asking the right questions will get you a winner every single time. So I'm going to ask you to do something for me. If you were thinking about open questions to get an understanding of how you could help the people you're working with, your clients, your potential clients, and so on and so forth, what would you need to know about them so you can assist, so you can help, so you can get them on the right road to the goals they want to achieve? So just again, if you want to work together, if you want to work around, it's entirely up to you. But think about these open questions and write down 5 that's going to give you a chance to really understand how you can help that person today, okay? I'll give you 60 seconds. We'll see what you can come up with. Thank you. So 5 open questions. Let's see what you come up with. Okay, I'm going to bring it back in if that's okay. Let's have a bit of a listen to what we've got. So, open questions. Just going to come just in the middle row here. That's okay. Thanks for swine, I appreciate it. What questions did you get down?
I've gone with how did you get to where you are today?
Ah.
Where you're either inquiring or has come
Brilliant. So the steps they've taken to actually come up and have a conversation or do a test with you. Yeah, brilliant. Good. Anything else you got down?
And then what's your long-term goal? What's the dream? Like, what is that end thing you want?
Yeah.
It's not a 2-week little thing that we're going into here.
Yeah.
We want to look at like, what is that big thing that can then allow me as the coach to start chunking that down.
Yeah.
Sort of managing expectation too, and sort of understanding them a little bit more in terms of what they want.
Love it. What I love about those 2 questions, it gives them an opportunity to really open up and share stuff with you. And there will be those clients that you talk to every now and again that aren't quite as open, but most of them, given those kind of questions, will tell you so much. And as long as you can switch these on, you're in a fantastic position. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. Anybody else got a couple of open questions they want to share? Yeah, just go for it. Thanks, man.
I always start by asking someone what made them come see me today.
Great, because there's that build up. There's all of a sudden that, you know what, I'm not getting far enough on my own. I need some. Brilliant. So you're ready to help them. I love it. Anybody else got one more? Yes, go for it. I'd love to hear it.
Time and money wasn't a constraint. What would you want your fitness life to look like?
Oh, very nice. Get a whole menu of stuff. Brilliant.
Deal with objections beforehand as well.
Very nice job. Yeah, love it, Fred. Thank you very much. So there's all sorts of open questions that we can ask. And the idea is we get people talking, sharing information, and put us in a position where we can start thinking about how we can help them. And even if you're doing a taster session or something like that, you're also now thinking about all the wonderful things that you could demonstrate to them. So if they're finding they're struggling for routine or they're getting bored, how can you make it as exciting, as fun as possible? Because you've got that information to be able to help them. But one of the things that you find with open questions, they are brilliant. And they give you all sorts of information. But as you're working with someone during any conversation, during any taster session, or any kind of opportunity to kind of go through how you work and what you charge, you're going to need to get some feedback. And this is where closed questions come in. Okay, so we've got to about open questions, get a conversation started. What does a closed question allow you to do? Yeah, absolutely. Because you can ask a question, are you enjoying it? It's a yes or no answer. Could you see yourself doing this again? Yes or no? So the idea basically is open questions get the conversation started. Closed questions allow you to check in, get feedback, and see how you're going. So the idea basically is as you're going through, mix open and closed questions. Open, get you started. Close, start to get feedback in terms of testing the water. Are we going in the right direction? Are we doing things in the right way? So for example, you might find during the taster, as I said, you've gone through the, how can help you, what you're looking to achieve. And as you're working out with somebody, you could ask them, are you enjoying it? Big thumbs up if they give you a yes. And as Rich said, each time you get a positive reply, yes, I'm enjoying it. Yes, I look forward to doing this again. What's happening to those uncertainties about doing personal training with you? Disappearing. But the important thing is they're telling not just you that, but they're telling themselves that I am enjoying it. I could see myself doing this again. So it's all positive. And if you get any uncertainties during this process here where you're getting some feedback, I'm not too sure about it, you've got an opportunity to help them with that uncertainty and find out why. Very often, if people have got uncertainties right at the very end of things when you're talking prices and so on, I'm not saying it's impossible to bring it back, but it makes it a little bit more challenging. Get rid of the uncertainties as you work with them. Makes a big difference. So we'll continue. So we're getting feedback, we're asking open and closed questions, we're getting all these bits and pieces through, but now we want to kind of find out a little bit more about going through prices with them. And again, we all deliver prices in different ways. Some of us are great at going through our prices verbally. Some people use a price presentation form. There's all different bits and pieces you can do, but I'm going to ask you to think about something. Everybody communicates in a slightly different way. Some people are visual, they need to see it. Some people are auditory, they need to hear it. Some people are kinesthetic, they need to touch and feel and so on. You don't always know who you're dealing with. There are ways to do that, which is for another session. But if you have any tools that you can use to take people through pricing strategies, it makes one heck of a difference. Because not only can you take them through it, you can match it, you can ask questions around it, and so on. So if you've got a price presentation menu, one of the things that I would suggest to you, I'm not saying you have to, but certainly from my experience, it improves your level of success because you can work through things with people. When you come to go through prices, a couple of things I've always found work really, really well. First of all, recap. So you said you'd like to achieve. Here's what you'd like to do over the next 12 weeks. Here's what we've delivered today. You said you've enjoyed it. Is there anything we've missed? You just make sure that everything that you've talked about in this conversation is done and dusted. If there's any uncertainty at this point, it's more than likely during the recap, they will come through and say, well, actually, I also want to do this, or I've not thought about that. And you can help them. Go through your prices. We've got some different options. You can pay for a block of sessions, or you can pay for it monthly by direct debit. One of the things that I've found in my experience, if you ask this question, which one works best for you? I'm not asking if you want to do personal training, I'm saying yes or no, I'm asking which one works for you, which option. You encourage them to pick one. I promise you, if you hold up a red pen and a black pen and say, which one do you want? Someone's going to choose. It's the same with this. Monthly or block, what works best for you? People will choose. When they've chosen it, if you want to make a suggestion to help them, you can do. But then when you've done it, wait for a reply. One of the things that I've seen over many, many years of experience is people do this wonderful job. They go through it, it's great, and we've done this, and here's your prices. Which one would you like? Or is there anything else you'd like to ask? You interrupt that thought process. So what happens? People go, oh, maybe there is something else. Let them speak. Very often, silence isn't a sign that they're not interested or you're losing them. Silence is a sign that they're just giving it some thought. Give them a moment. When they reply, one or two things are going to happen. Number one, you get the chance to celebrate. Go, yes, brilliant, let's get you started, let's get you booked in, off we go, fantastic. Or they're going to come up with an uncertainty. Now, here's the thing. Very often an uncertainty, or some people refer to them, objections. Very often there are requests for more information because we've missed something. What is it? And if you've taken the time to get to know this person, understand their needs, why they're here, what their pain is, how you can help them, you've built up enough of a rapport to be very honest. When someone turns around and says, do you know what, I'm not quite sure this is for me, I want to think about it. Great. Anything in particular I can help you with? Is there something I've missed? Ask them. Because there's every possibility they're going to turn around and say to you, yeah, it's this. And in my experience, I've had people say to me, do you know what, I need to wait for payday. This is going to happen. Wonderful, because now I can make a plan to work with it. If someone turns around and says, it's a little bit more than I was expecting to pay, I can ask, what were you expecting to pay? I can clarify it, quantify it, and look at how we can help them and add the value to it. But the idea is, if I can understand if there's something missing, I can help them. Make sense? Don't be afraid to ask is the key thing here. But we shall continue, because we've covered these bits and pieces. If they do say no, as I said, we can go for the whys. But the most important thing to do if you can is, if there is an uncertainty, they want to think about it, you've done all you can to help them, how can you stay in touch? What's the next plan of action? Can I touch base with them again? Can I come on a newsletter? Do I just walk up and visit them in the gym and say, hi, how you doing? Let me know if I can help you again. Don't be a stranger to them is the most important thing here. Okay? Cool. So we shall continue. One of the things that came up on the panel, and I can't agree with this enough, we are in a wonderful place where we get to learn all about what we do. And very often there's this thing, and the biggest fear I come across sometimes in sales and selling is this fear of failure. And we talked about it at the start. Everything you do, there's no failures, there's just opportunities to learn. Track and learn what you do well. If there's things that you find are working, pencil them in, make sure they happen on a regular basis. If there's something you find that doesn't work, understand why. What have I missed? What could I improve? What could I change? And if you start to look at what you do, let's say, for example, you're looking at how many people you book in for taster sessions, and how many people you convert from that. Maybe you speak to 10 people, you book 5 taster sessions in, 1 person takes up personal training with you. What you found from that basically is for every 5 people that do a taster, you get 1 sign up. But I need to speak to 10 people to get those 5 tasters booked. So you can ask yourself this question. Do I get better during my inquiry process, so it's 2 people taking up personal training with me, or do I get better at generating more people to come and see me? The idea basically is, and forgive me for this, whatever you work it out to be, whatever you want to work on, it doesn't matter, as long as you're generating enough business for yourself. Learn what works, improve areas, but the big thing I must say to you is, if you've got strengths, use them. Very often we focus so much on the things that we think we need to focus and improve on, we miss out on the good stuff. Look at your strengths and how you can use them, and then tweak the bits that need tweaking. Does that make sense? But learn and do and continue to allow yourself to grow. Cool. Is that a question there? Yeah, go for it. Love to hear a question.
From the last slide, to be fair, I was just asking, do you agree with the fact that a price should be proportional to the client's sort of price range, if you know what I mean? Like, I've got quite a wealthy client who's a business owner.
Yeah.
And business-wise, I charge him a wee bit more.
Okay.
Because it's proportional to his, so like say for instance, he's not going to go to me just for 20 quid, because what's 20 quid to him? So do you reckon that's...
Okay. I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to throw it back to you in a slightly different way. So forgive me for a second here. I'm not doing a politician's answer, that's for sure. I'm not going to say clearly or anything like that. But one of the things I will say to you is, when you're looking at your pricing and what you charge, one of the first and most important things to consider is what allows you to be sustainable and successful. If you're undercharging, then you create yourself an issue because you're working well, you've got lots of clients, but you're not able to look after yourself correctly. Okay. Is there a world where maybe you can do a little bit more with other clients? I've got to be honest, I work more on consistency of what I do. However, I work sometimes in different industries. So for example, I worked with an organisation in Canary Wharf and they laughed at me when I charged them my day rate and asked me to put it up. Otherwise they wouldn't hire me. So I learnt that because I live in Pembrokeshire in West Wales, slightly different dynamic to Canary Wharf in London. My main thing for me is consistency. But what I do find sometimes if there's clients who maybe need a little bit more, I'll get them working with me in one area and see if there's some additional bits and pieces I can do that increase the value of what I do. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah. But as I said, the first thing for me is making sure that what you charge allows you to be able to have the lifestyle that you need. Because if you're not hitting those kind of goals, then you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, and there's pressure to what you do, and it's not fun. And this is a great environment to work in. Is that okay? Is that answer? Yeah? No problem at all. Okay. So, let's say track what you do and learn. Get to know how much work you need to do to get a particular result, because that is what's going to make the difference for you to be successful. Okay. So, they were the kind of bits and pieces that I wanted to go through with you today. But I said, a few points to leave you with. Always make sure you get a full understanding of what it is people want when you're working with them. How can you help them so you can match your services to their particular needs? Open questions will get people to talk to you, but listen. Keep those ears open. Listen to understand, not just to reply. Sometimes we're so excited about providing an answer, we miss an opportunity to hear what it really is that person wants from us. Mix open and closed questions, as I said, and make sure you recap and present a solution before you go through pricing. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm going to ask you to do something for me before you go. And this is it. I'm actually going to change it slightly, if I may. I'm going to ask you to write down one thing that you've taken from this that you're going to implement. But I want you to do as well is write down how you're going to commit to that. And let me explain. If you've decided that you are going to look at your open questions and you're going to do that on Monday, brilliant. But what are you going to do tonight that makes you do it Monday? Put it in your diary. Tell somebody. Make a commitment to it. Because the one thing that I've found, again, through years of working with clients and delivering training, if there's something that you've taken from this session or any other sessions you've been on today, what is the first thing you're going to do to make it happen and commit to it? Put a date to it. I promise you then you're more likely to take action, and that's when you start to get results. Okay? But write down something that you are going to take and implement, please, if that's okay. Now, I hear a few, and that will take us to our conclusion. Cool, thank you. So, Rich, what did you put down you're going to implement? What's your thing you're going to put in place?
This is the question I was struggling with, not 4 point again. Struggling with.
That 4 point. Right, well, if you've got a couple of minutes, we'll afterwards. Anybody else write something down they're going to put in place? Sam, what did you get, if don't mind me asking?
I want to work on my elevator pitch.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Just because, like, I do a lot of cold approaches in the gym where I'm at, so having something that I can, like, briefly sell myself.
It's nice to have something to walk in with. You've got that little bit of confidence straight away then, which is great. So that's lovely. Thank you very much. Drew, what did you get?
The same sort of thing.
Yeah?
The more the call to approach.
Yep.
I feel like that's what I struggle with. Like, I'm good at putting all the ideas across, but it's that final pushing towards that I quite struggle with.
Okay, cool. Well, look forward to hearing from you. One of the things I'm going to say to all of you, if it's okay, if there's anything you want to share, if there's any questions that you've got, you're welcome to come and see me afterwards. If there's anything you want to email to me to check and look at with your elevator pitch you want to share and even let me know how it's going, I'd love to hear. It's an open and honest gesture, so if you want to do that, please do. So I'd love to hear and see how you're getting on. But that's me. There's my email address. If there's anything you want to send me, please do. Take a picture, send it on, okay? Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time. Good luck.